give you an opportunity to push back with the counter arguments.
Thanks, Marina. About pushing back. You know, I think the current market technology, what banks and financial market participants use today, is at end of life. The biggest risk is status quo. Hearing arguments for nothing to see here, move along, what we have is sufficient. I work with these banks. I work with these market participants. They've done everything they can to, performance engineer those platforms to support the level of market volume that they can. Large banks spend $10 billion a year or more on technology. My gosh, that can't be the most efficient way to deliver a technology infrastructure. What you've heard up here over the last few minutes has been about decentralization in crypto. And my clients are in a post-crypto period. This has nothing to do with crypto. This is not about decentralization. As I said in earlier comments, the view is that there's a role for intermediaries in this future architecture based on a Web3 technology stack. And it's very attractive to the market participants because of the end of life of current technology, because the current technology is what's opaque, corruptible, high cost, rigid, very fragile. We've seen that in consent orders to the largest banks around resilience. When a bank has a wires outage for a couple of days and the OCC issues a consent order to fix that, and that bank has to spend $1 billion to do it on current tech. Gosh, current tech's awesome. Seems to really be working well. Let's not change a thing. The highest risk is status quo. With regard to your keys, your crypto. In the crypto world, which I'm not talking about, but if I was to comment on it, code is law. In the application of a Web3 technology stack by regulated institutions, it's law as law. When you tokenize a real-world asset, a sovereign currency, real estate, a bond, law as law. It's less about custodying the private keys as it is about servicing that asset like you would a traditional asset. So, many of the arguments that you may have heard, or the perspectives, I would say, there's not arguing, but the perspectives, there's a chasm between what's really going on with the banks who are investing in building tokenization platforms, private networks, with the expectation that those private networks will be connected through public networks to create a network of network once the functional capabilities, regulatory clarity, scalability, and other factors are in place, and there's every confidence it will be, because Web 2 was a 25-year cycle. It took 25 years to get to a level of maturity that we enjoy today. And we have no expectation that Web 3 will happen any faster than that. In fact, it may take longer, particularly as you bridge and live in this Web 2.5 world for a period of time. So the space is still developing, but the orientation is post-crypto. The platform we believe that's going to monetize the next generation or the next level of investment in the Web3 infrastructure is the tokenization of private assets. There is $330 trillion in private real estate in the world. There's $90 trillion in private infrastructure in the world. There's $160 trillion of private debt in the world. There's $55 trillion in private company equity. There's over $600 trillion in assets that are not in the financial system. They're highly illiquid, not very serviceable, that are ready to come into the financial system to be regulated by or to be serviced by regulated financial institutions. What will that do? That will materially expand the financial system. Because when you bring those assets in and they're used as collateral for access to liquidity, you have to expand the monetary system. And it's backed by real-world assets. We've published a report around the interest in private investments. A couple of data points. Wealth is held today 50-50 by institutions and individuals. However, investment in private assets today is 85% held by institutions. Individuals would like access to invest in these private assets for diversification, and also because private investments have returned 5x public markets over the last 20 years. Based on our data, there's $8 trillion to $12 trillion in AUM positioned by private, high net worth, ultra high net worth, and affluent individuals to move into private investments of tokenized private assets. That $8 to $12 trillion will be the mechanism by which the next level of development of this technology ecosystem is monetized, the deficiencies are addressed, new capabilities are introduced, and the evolution of the tech stack and the re-expression of the financial market infrastructure will be realized.